Hey, what's going on, Internet? It's Galactic Criminal, back with another video. You know, I really didn't plan on making a third video today, but I just stumbled upon a rather emotional video, I guess you could put it that way. It's from one Brendan Shaub, UFC heavyweight. You know, if you're a fan of UFC at all, you know that very recently, one Kevin Ferguson, aka KIMBO Slice, had passed away. You know, most people take that kind of thing with a grain of salt, and I understand. Not many people knew him. I didn't know him. I never met him. But there was that interaction with him, with the Ultimate Fighter show, and, you know, like, all the videos that he had done in the past, you know, like, when in the early YouTube days, he did, like, the backyard fighting, you know, like, taking on dudes for money and whatnot. And, you know, he decided he wanted to, you know, step it up a little bit and get into the mainstream. When he was found by the UFC and they took him in to do the Ultimate Fighter show, I'm sure that was a highlight of his life. And it was a highlight of my life because I really didn't know the man. I only seen his videos on YouTube, and I just thought he was some like big brooding dude, you know, unassuming to some point, very intimidating obviously, and very large, and just knocking dudes out all the time. But nobody really knew who he was, and when he was on the Ultimate Fighter show, he really kind of showed everyone exactly who he was. And it's just, and I loved every minute of it. You know, he wasn't always like the greatest fighter, but he was a great person. And it sucks to lose somebody like that. You know, 2016 has been a year of a lot of, you know, celebrity deaths and stuff, and you know, it's kind of hard to take sometimes, but I stumbled upon this video with Brendan Shaub talking about his experience with KIMBO Slice. So yeah, I checked out that video, and here it is.
I mean, KIMBO Slice, never judge a book by its cover, is an understatement. I mean, you want to talk about a zebra amongst a bunch of sheep. That's how I described KIMBO Slice to my friends, to anyone who didn't know him. But he didn't want to be a zebra. He wanted to blend in like the rest of the sheep. But goddamn was he a zebra. And he ran with that title and did some amazing things. So I just think the whole way it went down with him passing and how surprising it is, you know, at 42, it's such a shame, man. And my perception of KIMBO Slice before I actually got to know him was he was the toughest guy at the barbecue. He was, you know, this thug scrapping in the backyard.
Backyard fighting.
Have a lot of technique.
Backyard fighting. I loved it.
You know, he was just this hardcore dude that wore gold chains and looked the part. But if he got in there with a real fighter, he was going to be in trouble. I had a unique first experience with KIMBO Slice, a.k.a. Kevin Ferguson, as I knew him. He was on the Ultimate Fighter 10, which was
Shaub. He was on the same
the other
season.
14 guys, because Dana, before KIMBO walked out, built it up like, man, this next guy, you know, who comes out, everyone's going to know him. Everyone's going to notice this guy. Everyone's going to know who he is, and they really hyped it up. So you seen the video?
Yeah,
KIMBO walks out.
I remember that saunter that he did walking in.
Forget that guy. F that guy. And not because of KIMBO as a person or anything like that. Because I thought Fedor was going to walk out. The best heavyweight of all time. The way they hyped it up, I thought Fedor was walking out. So as soon as they brought out KIMBO, I thought, oh, come on, this is a cakewalk. F that guy. And you know, they say never judge a book by its cover, and god damn are they right.
You can't, you know?
I was so wrong about Kevin Ferguson. Boy, was I wrong. Right away, we went to training. As soon as KIMBO got on set, we separated us into two teams, and we went to training. Yeah. And I just remember KIMBO, instantly I was drawn to him, and we connected right away because he was a nice guy.
He's also the biggest guy in the room. I guess you want to make friends with the biggest guy in the room.
I'm always the guy, if I'm thinking it, I say it out loud. I never hold anything out. I never hold anything in. I always wear my heart on my sleeve. And so when Kimbo walked in, remember, it's 15, with Kimbo, 16 of the best heavyweights in the world vying for a UFC contract. So there's a level of competition.
Oh, that's right, 15. So he thought Fedor was coming in because there was somebody there high. Okay, I get it.
Chuck Liddell, whoever you are. Kimbo's more famous. He walked in right away. He has an X on his back. He's more famous than everyone. I want what he has. So when I lashed out like that, it was just, and I can sit here comfortably now, it's jealousy. Of course everyone wants what Kimbo had. So I think we thought he was a legit fighter. Oh, we couldn't be more wrong. God damn it. He was the most...
he had talent.
Modern day,
he absolutely had talent.
He had more fighter's heart than any of us in that house. He had a rough go in life, you know, growing up in the hood in Dade County in Miami, and he's one of the good guys. And I'll never forget. I've told this story on Rogan a million times. It was the semifinals, biggest fight of my life, still the biggest fight to date. I was fighting Marcus Jones.
Marcus Jones. The finale. Yeah, I remember that.
Dana White stops the car with the 4 remaining fighters in and goes, whoever makes it to the finale, I promise you you're going to be a star. This is the biggest fight of your life. Act like it. If you guys make it, it's a big deal. So we had that pressure on us. So that night I'm sleeping. The rest of the house is partying. You know, they have no skin in the game. They're doing their thing. And I'm sleeping on the ground. There's a bunk bed, but the bed was too small, so I'm sleeping on the floor. And I'm in my underwear. And it's probably 3 in the morning. You know, my nerves, I just fell asleep. Thank God. It's hard to sleep before a fight. And I hear a group of guys. I can hear some yelling downstairs. I hear a group of guys. They come into my room, and I thought I was sleeping because Kimbo's going, yo, Shaub, wake up, dog. Wake up, man. And remember, this is 6 weeks in the house, so we're all very close. We all know each other. He's going, wake up, dog. And I'm like, am I dreaming? Is that Kimbo Slice? Wake up in the middle of the night? And he goes, they're talking about our people. Now, we've had conversations for hours every day.
Our people.
For whatever reason, my ethnicity never got brought up.
Ethnicity.
So he's going, wake up, dog. They're talking about our people. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not going to say the guy's name. Blah, blah, blah. Is saying some racist stuff downstairs, man. He's talking about the Aryan Nation, blah, blah, blah. Let's go whoop his ass. And I thought, just because I like Kimbo so much, I'll go help you. But I'm not racist in the least bit. And I told him, hey, Kimbo, you know I'm not black, right? And he went, really? Yeah, man, I'm not black. He went, damn, that's crazy. All right, dog, you got a big day tomorrow. Get some rest. And he leaves, and I hear him tell the guys, that's why I love Shaub, man. You can never tell what the he is. So I'll never forget that, man. Our fascination came with Kimbo because he wasn't supposed to, there was only supposed to be 15 minutes of fame for that guy.
Yeah.
That wasn't Kevin's plan. That wasn't Kimbo's plan at all. Kimbo decided to use that as a platform, get out of this rough situation he was living in, and make something for himself. And he's a family guy. On top of all this, whatever you've heard about him, he's a family guy. 6 kids, lives for his kids. All he talked about was his family when he's in the house. So I just, you can't come up with this stuff. Hollywood.
Say what you want about Shaub, but I do respect the guy.
So now, please,
he's a good fighter.
Remember,
it definitely seems like he's a good guy.
He accomplished all this with a chronic heart disease.
Yeah.
He's a modern-day superhero.
Modern-day superhero.
Because we'd never.
The Black Batman. So Kimbo Slice, he wasn't always like the greatest fighter. He didn't always have the best technique, but he really, really gave it a big, solid fucking try. You know what I'm saying? Like any interviews that I'd seen with Kimbo, or any of the people that he was training with said like he was a fucking lion. He just had so much heart and he wanted to learn so much. He didn't really have a lot of time. I feel like the whole publicity thing is what it was, just bringing this guy in with a big name and just, tossing him tossing him to like the more experienced fighters, the guys who have a lot of technique and are able to read skill and stuff like that. You know, he didn't really have like the greatest career in the UFC, you know, but he went into boxing. And if anybody saw him in his boxing career, holy fuck, did he kick some ass. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy had talent. And it's just a really, really big shame that he had to leave us so soon. I didn't really delve into, you know, how he passed away. I didn't like research it and try to figure it out, because you know what, it really doesn't matter at this point. What matters as a person is who he is and who he's leaving behind. You know, he's got a big family that he left behind, kids, you know. And it's really shitty when anyone passes away. But when it's somebody that, you know, is on such a high pedestal that people love so much, it's a really, really big shame. And let's all just remember his name fondly for what he was and who he continues to be. Until next time, have yourself a fantastic evening.